In modern society, nursing is celebrated as the backbone of healthcare, a recession-proof career that combines noble service with dependable upper-middle-class financial security. According to Bureau of Labor Statistics data, the national median salary for a registered nurse sits at roughly $86,000 a year. Pick up a few extra night shifts, or sign a high-paying travel contract, and the recruitment ads promise a fast track to six figures, straight out of college. But if you look past the recruitment posters and audit the actual paychecks of bedside nurses, the myth of the wealthy healthcare worker quickly falls apart. Welcome to the hidden economy of scrub-level medicine, a world where high nominal pay is aggressively hollowed out before it ever hits a checking account. Because behind that $86,000 headline figure lies a crushing combination of mandatory educational debt, brutal night shift physical taxes, mandatory union and licensing fees, and an aggressive tax bracket shift. What if I told you that picking up extra night shifts actually accelerates your physical depreciation faster than it grows your wealth? Today, we are dissecting the true balance sheet of the nursing profession. We will calculate the long-term price of a BSN degree, break down the actual net value of night shift differentials, expose the hidden out-of-pocket costs of staying licensed, and run a real-world income audit on a bedside RN. Let's find out what a nurse actually keeps. To understand where a nurse's paycheck disappears, we have to start at day one, getting licensed. In years past, an affordable 2-year associate degree in nursing was the standard entry point. But over the last decade, major hospital networks have instituted mandatory Bachelor of Science in Nursing requirements to maintain magnet hospital status. That degree requirement came with a steep price tag. The average nursing student now graduates with between $40,000 and $55,000 in student loan debt. At current interest rates, that creates an immediate, non-negotiable debt service of roughly $500 to $650 every single month. The moment they start working, before taking their first patient, nurses face an ongoing list of mandatory career upkeep costs: passing the NCLEX exam, registering with state nursing boards, obtaining advanced cardiac life support certifications, and completing mandatory annual continuing education units eat into their starting capital before they earn their first paycheck. While entry-level salaries sound strong on paper, this upfront debt burden traps new grads in a cash flow squeeze during their crucial early wealth-building years, forcing many directly into night shifts just to keep up with loan payments. To compensate for working unsociable hours, hospitals offer a night shift differential, typically adding an extra $3.50 to $5 an hour, or a 10 to 15% bump over base pay. On paper, working night shifts looks like a smart financial decision, adding roughly $7,000 to $10,000 in extra annual gross income. But night shift pay is subject to what economists call a physical depreciation drag. Circadian rhythm disruption isn't just exhausting, it carries documented physical and mental health costs. Night shift nurses spend significantly more out of pocket on specialized recovery gear, blackout home setups, supplements, high-tier health insurance, and physical therapy. When you factor in the physical toll, often referred to as the night shift hangover, on off days, that extra $4 an hour is heavily offset by lifestyle overhead and reduced quality of life during time off. Furthermore, bedside fatigue frequently leads to mandatory overtime. When hospital units are understaffed, nurses are pushed to work 12.5 to 16-hour shifts. While overtime pays 1.5 times, it accelerates burnout, leading to higher turnover and early departure from bedside care. When a nurse receives their bi-weekly paycheck, it is heavily reduced by mandatory deductions. High gross wages push staff nurses squarely into middle and upper middle tax brackets, where combined federal, state, and FICA taxes claim roughly 25 to 30% of gross earnings. In unionized hospitals, mandatory union dues take another $700 to $1,200 annually. Add out-of-pocket operational gear, medical-grade compression socks, specialized supportive footwear to prevent chronic joint wear, and self-funded scrubs, and the cost of simply standing on a hospital floor continues to grow. But what about the famous travel nurse boom? During emergency surges, travel contracts made headlines with pay packages reaching $4,000 to $5,000 a week. Today, the travel market has largely normalized. Travel nurses face strict IRS rules regarding duplicated housing expenses to claim tax-free stipends. When you add short-term rental costs, lack of paid time off, self-funded health insurance, and unstable contract cancellations, the net margin of travel nursing narrows significantly compared to staff positions. To reveal the true bottom line, Let's run a definitive annual balance sheet for a full-time night shift staff registered nurse, earning an $80,000 base salary plus a night differential. We start with an $80,000 base salary. Adding a 12% night shift differential adds $9,600, bringing gross earnings to $89,600. Now, the government takes its share. Federal income taxes remove $12,544. FICA and Medicare take $6,854. State income tax takes roughly $4,480. Our post-tax income sits at $65,722. Next, we deduct structural obligations. BSN student loan servicing removes $6,000. Union dues, state renewals, and certifications take $1,100. Employee health insurance and a basic 5% retirement contribution deduct $4,480. Out-of-pocket physical maintenance, supportive gear, and scrubs cost $1,500. The final result, out of an $89,600 gross contract, the nurse's real spendable liquid take-home pay is $51,642 a year, or $4,303 a month. When you factor in recovery time on off days, their effective hourly compensation drops to $21.51 an hour. Bedside nursing remains an essential profession, but the idea that it offers effortless wealth is a misconception. Between educational debt, physical wear, and heavy deductions, staying at the bedside requires a real financial and personal balance. If you're a bedside nurse, how does your net take-home compare after debt and shift differentials? Drop your perspective in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and next time, we're auditing what a tech executive at Google or Meta actually keeps after stock vesting, taxes, and Bay Area living costs. Subscribe so you don't miss it.